Hello, my wonderful people. Welcome back to Spice Channel TV. If you're just joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. My country people, it is so obvious that the military, the military leadership has come to stay in Niger Republic. They've started making some, certain changes in the government. And I can tell you that it is so obvious that the military leadership or the military regime in Niger Republic has come to stay. Despite the ECOWAS sanctions, despite threats from other countries, the US, they have warned the military juntas to, drop their course and release Mohammed Bazoum. But then, my country people, I think there is no going back in this matter because the Niger coup leaders have formed a new government. Yes, my country people, they have formed a new government. Now, the Niger military junta that seized power has announced a list of 21 people that it said will become ministers in a new government. This announcement was made overnight. It comes as the West African heads of state are set to hold a summit on Thursday to reach an agreement on the next line of action regarding the recent coup in Niger. But that's not stopping the military leaders from forming their own government. Now they have formed a new government whereby they announced 21 ministers, my country people. Although the announcement was made overnight on the state television, and it comes as West African heads of state are set to hold a summit on Thursday, aiming to agree on a plan of action for Niger, where coup leaders have refused to step down despite the bloc's threat that it could use force to restore democracy. But these guys are not, ready to give up just yet. Now, since July 26th, the coup d'etat shocked the region, and the military junta had, rebuffed any diplomatic overtones. They've ignored the August 6th deadline from the Economic Community of the West African States, the ECOWAS, to reinstate the ousted President Mohammed Bazoum. The meeting in the Nigerian capital, Abuja, could prove a pivotal moment in the standoff. The bloc's leaders are expected to agree on the next step, which could include military intervention, something an ECOWAS official has said it would be a last resort. And the envoys of the Nigerian president and the ECOWAS chair, Bola Tinubu, met coup leaders in the capital, Niamey, on Wednesday, offering a glimmer of hope for dialogue after the previous missions were spurned. But any escalation would further destabilize the West Africa's Sahel region, one of the world's poorest areas, where a long-running Islamist insurgency has displaced millions and stoked a hunger crisis. And the coup was triggered by internal policies, but it has evolved into an international entanglement with the ECOWAS, the United Nations, and the Western countries, putting pressures on the junta to stand down, while the military government in the neighboring Mali and Burkina Faso have vowed to defend it. On Wednesday, a UN spokesperson said that the UN Secretary General Antonio is very concerned about the reported deplorable living conditions of the Niger's president and his family in arbitrary detention. The Secretary General reiterates his concern over the health and the safety of the president and his family, and once again calls for the immediate and the unconditional release and his reinstatement as the head of state, the spokesperson said. But it seems that that would not be possible. In fact, there is no way it will be possible, because at this moment, these are the military leaders. They've now announced that they are forming their own new government. The reign of a democratic leadership is over. The regime of a democratic leadership is over, because now the military have taken over. They've announced 21 ministers, so there is no going back. What will be the fate of Mohamed Bazoum? Now, the West African leaders, they said, oh, they want to gather for a summit to deliberate on the Niger Republic coup issue, how they would, go about it, since they gave an ultimatum. And in fact, the period of the ultimatum has elapsed. So, but yet nothing has been, done about this. The ECOWAS currently is trying to seek a diplomatic solution, but they said they would use force if it's their last option. So their last option would be to use force. But for now, they are still deliberating whether they would use force or not. But then people have started commenting on the ECOWAS decision not to try to use force, because the people would fight against this use of force. So many envoys had visited this Niger, so many people have been going, the ECOWAS delegation, they've been going to try to resolve this issue peacefully, but no. In fact, they were not giving any listening ears at all. So my country people, and Bazoum, who has been detained by his members of his presidential guard now since July 26th, had cried out recently that they are not giving him food to eat. Since there's no electricity, there's no running water, he's eating dry rice and all of that. So my country people, President Mohamed Bazoum had cried over, the living condition that he's been put in, because he said this is not how he should live. But he doesn't have a choice, my country people. The military now has taken over. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? This military, they have set up their own government, and it seems that there's no going back on this. So let's see how it goes. For now, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you. Bye for now.